First at 4, the clouds are definitely out there, but the snow is just about 24 hours away. We'll tell you how much we'll be shoveling on Thursday. Karen?
Also first at 4, it is a new clue in the shooting death of a popular Detroit DJ. We have the video police want you to see. The defense rests in the Harvey Weinstein trial, why the former movie producer decided not to take the stand, and what comes next. Paula.
This is a miniature key to the city. Imagine 52 of them for the members of the Detroit Youth Choir. We're going to give you a sneak peek. These stories and more are happening right now on Local 4 First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. Today, sunshine has already disappeared, and we are getting ready for another round of snow. Little less than 24 hours away, and commuters need to keep an eye on this one. Ben, so we do have time to prepare ourselves at least.
We do, Karen. About this time tomorrow night, we'll be looking for that snow to start developing in the south zone just towards the end of the evening commute. But as of right now, temperatures still in our favor, although the winds have started to pick up. They're out of the west right now at about 15 to 20 miles an hour. So definitely feels like it's in the 20s, even though those air temperatures right now are in the mid 30s. Down to the south, that moisture really starting to get going, and you can see that there's pretty much just rain down there south of the Ohio Valley right now. But eventually it will be all snow for us once we get into tomorrow night and especially Thursday morning. Rest of the evening, we'll see temperatures diving into the 20s, but the cold is going to be a huge part of the forecast beyond the snow. We'll look at how cold it's going to get for Valentine's Day and the start of the weekend in just a few minutes. Karen?
Thank you, Ben. State police are investigating a tragic crash that tied up the morning rush hour for hours along 696 in Royal Oak. 39-year-old man and a 61-year-old man were both killed in the multi-car crash. Investigators say the victims got out of their cars to check on a minor accident, and that's when they were hit by two separate cars. Police shut the freeway down in order to investigate. New at 5, state police offer safety advice on what you should do if you're involved in a minor accident on a busy highway. There was also a deadly crash along I-94 near Metro Airport, killing a 30-year-old woman. State police say a car broke down in the eastbound lanes of I-94 near Middlebelt. It happened about 1 in the morning, and then that car was rear-ended by a small SUV, which then caught fire. The SUV driver died in the wreck. The driver, who remained in the broken-down car, had severe back injuries. Detroit police hope some new video will help capture the suspects in a double shooting that killed a popular DJ. It happened Friday night on West McNichols and Eileen. This new video shows two men getting inside and then hiding in one of the victims' trucks. Police say as the victims approached, the suspects got out and opened fire. Brian Gilbert, also known as DJ Slick B, was killed. Both men got away in a dark-colored SUV. If you can help police, please give them a call. World health officials are targeting the coronavirus crisis at a huge virtual meeting. About 300 scientists from around the world are dialing into a video conference in Switzerland. They're sharing their knowledge and resources to come up with a research roadmap that tackles the virus. Deaths in China have now topped 1,000. There are more than 43,000 people sick, with 99% of the cases in China. Chinese leaders are trying to get people to go back to work, even though 60 million people remain in virtual quarantine. First at 4, we're also tracking big stories making headlines across America. The sexual assault trial of disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein is moving closer to deliberations. The defense rested its case today, saying Weinstein would not testify in his defense. Weinstein is accused of sexually assaulting 2 women. By choosing not to testify, Weinstein avoids what could be strong cross-examination by prosecutors. As he left court, Weinstein said he wanted to testify, but his attorney said it wasn't necessary because the case against Weinstein was not strong enough. Closing arguments start Thursday. We do have some breaking news from Washington, where a prosecutor in the Roger Stone case has just resigned. This case is blowing up today following sentencing recommendations for the former Trump ally convicted of lying to Congress. Federal lawyers recommended 7 to 9 years in prison, but the Justice Department backtracked after a critical tweet from President Trump. In the past hour, prosecutor Aaron Zelinsky resigned. We are going to watch this over the next few hours and, of course, keep you updated. The polls are open. Most of the candidates are scrambling for votes, but one Democrat is already leaving New Hampshire. Our coverage of Decision 2020 is focusing on the nation's first primary. Let's go to Devin Scillian for a look at early results and a big storyline here, Devin.
Sure is, Karen. The confusing Iowa caucuses, of course, and Mike Bloomberg's late entry into the campaign have created a rather wide open race for the Democratic nomination right now. It's a tradition for 3 tiny towns in New Hampshire to cast their ballots at midnight. And overnight, we learned Bloomberg was a write-in winner in a town where only 5 people vote. But Senator Amy Klobuchar grabbed the most votes in those 3 tiny towns. The results make for interesting conversation, but of course, they're a very small sample. Polls in the rest of the state open through 7 or 8 p.m. tonight, depending on the local municipalities. The last ones will close at 8 this evening. One of the biggest storylines will be, how is Joe Biden going to do? He started his day in New Hampshire, but he's already left the state and made his way to South Carolina, where he hopes he can stop a recent slide for his campaign. He was, of course, the national frontrunner in many polls, finished 4th in Iowa, now taking the long view, telling reporters there are a lot of delegates up for grabs beyond Iowa and New Hampshire. Now, tonight, we're going to be streaming live coverage of the results from New Hampshire on the politics page at clickondetroit.com. And then we certainly invite you to join us tonight for Local 4 News at 11. We'll have a full wrap-up as hopefully we'll have the results in, which will be very different from last week in Iowa. Karen, back to you.
We sure hope those results come in quicker than last week, for sure. Thank you, Devin. Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder, and the Detroit Youth Choir, just some of the homegrown heroes who received the key to the city of Detroit. So did you ever wonder how those special keys are crafted? Mayor Mike Duggan made a big promise to the youth choir, and today our Paula Tutman has an exclusive look at how that promise is becoming a reality. So Paula, where are you exactly?
Okay, so, well, start with I'm in the workspace of the folks who are getting this done, because, you know, when the mayor makes a promise of giving 52 keys away, somebody's got to execute it. So for the last 2 weeks, they've been toiling over this from start to finish, and they are halfway there.
Well, it's a great feeling because hopefully 50 years from now, you know, all the kids will be able to show their grandkids and their kids.
It is an honor to be charged with the task of making a key to the city.
We're going to make sure that we have about a 12-inch clearance. We do, which is great.
It is a labor of love to make 52 of them.
It's something to get a key to the city. Especially, you know, a great city like the city of Detroit.
At Sherwood Forest Art Gallery, framing and custom designs in Detroit, a combination of skill, the steady hands of a surgeon, technology, and artistry is used to craft 52 miniature keys to 52 titans who've used their talent to invite the world to see and hear Detroit in a positive light.
It's also an honor for us to even be a part of this process.
The actual key is designed by mayoral envoy Pamela McLean.
It's not really anything that opens up a door, but it does open up hearts and minds and souls of citizens of the city of Detroit.
And then each key is painstakingly matted, mounted, and framed. A minimum of 91 minutes per key per frame just to complete the task.
If we've given them to Berry Gordy, Big Sean, Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder, Lily Tomlin.
In the hands of Tony Hughes ×2, father and son, and framer Naomi are working tirelessly with precision and pride, knowing that these are the hands that touch history, make history, and memorialize history for a group of young people who have made history as ambassadors for the city's future. So here it is, and I know you want to see it, but guess what? I can't show you the finished product yet because they want it to be a surprise for the kids. They're working on a way to actually present these keys to the members of the Detroit Youth Choir. Of course, we will be there when they do, but I can tell you this, that this has been a labor of love and pride. And look at the, oh, can't do it. Can't do it. Can't show you yet.
You like to tease us, I know. Paula, thanks so much for the behind-the-scenes look. Great story. Still ahead, you'll see why Valentine's Day isn't just for people who've coupled up. We'll tell you who else is benefiting from the holiday. But first, here's Dr. McGeorge.
Well, Karen, spotting skin cancer early is critical, but can you rely on a smartphone app to spot the problem? I'll tell you what new research says. Plus, we'll talk about the risk of surprise medical bills. Both stories after the break.
All right, Doc, and later, what Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is saying about equal rights for women in life after cancer.